Hi everyone, welcome back to CapesCornerCreations. Today I thought we would start from the basics, making a book cover, a journal cover, from a box that was, heading for the trash. So, here we go. I hope you're all well today. The weather's changing. It was a bit cool today for what I'm used to, and fall is in the air. So anyway, we start with just opening your box. Most boxes have a glued side like this, and you just peel that open and lay it flat. Then you can decide on your particular box what size you want. I'm going to go with a 5.5 by 8 inch journal cover. So I'm going to draw that out first before we cut anything, because I've already marked the corners, so we can draw a pencil line. Well, if my pencil wanted to work, let's try that again. Let me turn it this way so I can see better. There we go. And then I'm going to measure I want to go with 8.5 inches. Let's measure that right there. And I just go across so that my pencil line will be straight. And here, and one more. There we go. And again, draw your line. Really simple. I mean, it's just measuring out your size, whatever that is going to be for you. And it'd be better if I had my glasses on. There we go. And then on the side, in the cover, we're going to want that to be about, let's see, I think it's going to be about 5.5 inches. So I'm going to go right to the spine here and put my 5.5 and mark it here. Doesn't look right, does it? But it is. Okay, and here, and then down here. And you do both sides, as you know. And so you're going to end up with, the front and back cover and a spine piece, and all the rest is be ready for the trash. But sometimes there's extra pieces, and you can keep them for making journal cards or whatever you can find use for them. There's always use for something, usually. 5.5 and 5.5. I'm going to draw this line here. There we go. Now, I'm going to cut this piece first, right here. You can do this many ways. You could use your paper cutter. You could even use a quilting square for cutting. I'm just going to go with the utility knife. And if you do that, please be very careful and go slow. Depending on how thick your cardboard is, sometimes you have to go over it twice. But this one should come right off. There we go. Alright, so that's the first one. Then we're going to go this way. And the same all the way around. And go slow, remember, bear down. Try and go right across. There we go. Now that didn't go all the way across, so we're just going to help it along. There we go. They're pretty forgiving usually. This has a plastic cover, a plastic coating or tape. There we go. I'm going to take that off. You don't see those things sometimes when you start. There we go. Now we'll go this way. There we are. You know, it doesn't have to be to the minuscule because it's all forgiving, and we're going to be adding so much to it that size will change a little bit. Not by much, but a little. Okay. And this is going to be a part 1, part 2, and maybe part 3 because I want to make the cover with you, and then I want to make these signatures with you, and then I want to put it together. So we'll see how it goes. It'll either be 1, 2, or 3 videos. Now here we're going to go right on this crease. If I can keep my ruler still. Okay. There we go. I feel that. No, good. And then again here, and turn that around. Let's see how wide this is. Okay, I'm going to do 1 1/4, but we'll fix that in a minute. Okay. There we go. Yeah, if you push your blade in towards the ruler and your hand a little bit outward, it's a little bit easier to do. Here we have 2 pieces, and then this one. This one's a little bit wonky, so I'm just going to trim it just a little bit. Let's see how wide it is. Let's do a little measuring. Yeah, I'd like it a 1 1/4, so we're going to take that down just a little bit. It's a little wonky on one side. Let's see. Well, it's a little wonky on both sides, but we're just going to trim that up a little bit to get a straighter line there. Oh. Play with me here. There we go. Much better. And we'll do the same on this side. Let's see where we are. Almost 1 1/4. So we're gonna. You think you would need a really big spine sometimes, and you really don't. You'd be surprised how much you can get in a journal, even when they're really chunky. I think the biggest one I have is 2 inches. There we go. Okay, remember to hold tight. And press and be firm, but go slow. Want to keep safe. Retract your blade, and we'll put that away. Alright then. So, now you have front and back cover and a spine. Depending on what kind of materials you're going to use on the back side, you'd either have your advertisement on the inside, which is going to be covered anyway, or on the back side. I'm going to use I think a heavier material, so you won't see that. And I'd like to work on this side so you can see what's happening here. And the reason we take that piece out, and we're going to tape this to give it a gap so that it opens and closes freely. Otherwise, if it's together, it buckles and it's a little too tight. So that's why we're going to separate those. So we're going to start just simply with some, I use just packing tape. You can use whatever tape you can use, duct tape, packing tape, whatever you have on hand. I was going to go for the duct tape, but my duct tape is in the garage, and I'm not going in there tonight. So it is actually evening here today, right now. A busy day. Okay, so here we go. Sorry for all the noise. So we're going to just bring that down and place it right about there, just enough room so it can bend. Cut that. There we go. And we're going to put another piece right on there. I tape it to the table so it doesn't move. First piece. And then the third piece, I just fold this back. Hold that. And bring this one up. And just place it there. About the same distance as the other one. Make sure that, they're even on these ends is more important actually than if it's a hair off here. There we go. That's it. Now, I'm going to come this way. And of course, my tape's going to get all funny, but that's all right. And then I just go around again and reinforce. So I go here and here. So it's right down the middle of all three. Of course, my tape is going to be a little weird. And I flatten it really good. And like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be covered with a couple of layers. So you don't have to worry about that. As best you can. And if it's like this one that's folded over, we'll just cut it off a little bit. And then pull it down. And there we go. Look. Go this way. Oops. That plastic again. I see a piece of it, but there. So, there's your book cover. Journal has happened. There. So when it gets full and it's chunky, we have this give that will handle as many papers as you want, and then as much width. This can open quite wide, so we're good to go. Now, the next thing I do, we got that all set, is to pick a fabric. Now, you can do cloth, and you can do quilting, and you can do, whatever you would like to cover your book with. I'm just going to look over here in my little stash of material, which I have tons of material. You get into crafting and quilting and sewing, and I think I'd mentioned another time I had 7 grandchildren, and one of them actually I have 8 grandchildren. Oh my goodness. So I have 5 of them are girls and 3 of them are boys. So all the little girls at one time, dresses and little aprons and baby clothes, you name it, we had it. So I'm just going to look through my stash here. I should have picked out a piece of material before I started, but things happen in a day, and so here we are. Oh, I really like that. See if I can get that straight. It's a plaid, so let's see if I can get that on straight. That'd be really pretty though. Oh, camera. Alright, so here we go. I don't have my quilting tools at my table, so let's see if we can get this on here. So you want to be able to bring the material over all 4 sides, and I try and keep it about the same length everywhere. But it doesn't matter again, because once we do this, we are going to cover the inside, and we're going to put extra support at the spine area, so you won't see any of this underneath. You won't see this. You'll just see the top edge of your journal. All these strings here. Let me get this off. Alright. I really like this green plaid with fall coming. It's actually really pretty. Okay, I better stop, because if I keep pulling at it, it's going to keep going. Alright. So I'd like to do this at, I think 11 inches is going to be good. So we're going to cut right here. And this way, we're going to go, I think we'll go 16 and, well, we'll go 15 and a half. And I'm going to mark that with a pencil, because again, you won't see that mark. And I'm going to bring that down here. And we're going to just cut this right here. Now the best thing is just to rip it. I know when I first did that years and years ago, I was like, I saw the woman do that, and I thought, oh my gosh, if I do that, I'll ruin it. But it works. And then we're going to turn it around. And again, go right to that end. And there's your piece. Okay, so now you have this nice cover. So this part of the video is actually the easy part. It's filling your journal that's time consuming, depending on how full you want it. So I just want to make sure that this material covers that design, which it does. You can't see. So we're going to flip it over, and we're going to glue. I do one side at a time, opposite ends, and then you bring it down, and then we'll bring this one up. Well, or only one at a time. Alright, so now I use different glues. I use a craft glue that I get at the dollar store, and I think it's Dollar Mart, and it's called, I'll show it to you, Craft Melody Premium Craft Glue. It's a quick setting. It's machine washable. Of course, we're not washing this. It dries clear and stores airtight. Okay, so it actually works really, really well. I also like Fabrifix for something like this, but this glue does hold tight. So we're going to start with this, and I use a small bottle because I have more control over where the glue is going actually. So we're going to just center this. I do want to make sure that I can see the line underneath so it's straight. And then I'm going to glue on the cardboard itself. It works better, to glue the materials, it gets wrinkly and just more trouble than it's worth. So this is just really good to go ahead and put lots of glue on your cardboard. There we go. Just put a little bit extra. There. Now I'm just going to check the line through the material so that this is a plaid, so you kind of want to keep that straight. There we go. Now we're going to start from the middle, and I just tug it a little bit and pull it down and hold it, and then I work it from the middle outward to the corners, and then I press it down, and that looks really good. See how the plaid is pretty straight? Oh, and the other thing, you're going to need a wet paper towel, a wet cloth, or some baby wipes, because this is a sticky job. So, as I grab my baby wipe, I ran a daycare for over 35 years, and then I thought, well, I'm done with those baby wipes. Not so much. they're right back at it. Oh well. Okay, so now I'm gonna, there, let that set for just a second. Depending on your glue, you want to make sure that it's set before you proceed, because then you'll be wiggling your material. This one is pretty good. Then we're going to go this side and do the same. So, lots of glue. And this is the fun part. I mean, really and truly, this is the easy part. But it's fun because when you decide on the size and your material for your cover, it gives it life already. Once you close this and there's nothing even in it, you get excited about what's to come. Okay, I'm going to pull this up a little bit and work it to the edge. Pull that up a little. This is cotton, so it gives it a little tug. You can stretch it a little bit. It's a forgiving material. There we go. Now see already how beautiful. Oh, I'm very happy with this material. Very happy. Now, I'm going to come in with this material like so on the corners, and then we're going to bring it over so we have a nice straight line on both sides. So to do that, you want to first, I tack this down, just a little bit of material. Then I'm going to fold this over right here, if I can get my fingers out of there, like that, and put some glue right there so that we can fold and tack that down. Give it a little push. And the same with this side. Make sure that you're folding straight. And again, put some glue right there. So I'm grateful, I will have to say. My daughter was in that hurricane down in Florida, and they lost power. They got it back on today, and otherwise they were safe and sound. No big trees down in the yard. Big mess though. They had just finished raking. Their new homeowners there, and they had just finished cleaning that yard that hadn't been cleaned, I guess, in ages, and now they're back to raking because the storm made a big mess. But otherwise, they're good and they're fine, and I'm grateful. And for the most part, it wasn't as bad as some of those hurricanes can be. The East Coast, the West Coast, you know, oh my goodness, so many things happening. Alright, so now we're going to glue just a little bit on the corner of the material here, on the corners, so it grabs, and then here. If we need more glue, we can add more glue, but I like to start on these sides just so that we can line up our material there. And then you can go back here and put some more glue. There we go. Oh, I love this. So pretty. Now we're going to do the other side. That looks really, really nice. I'm really pleased with that. Okay. You know, I was a little nervous to use the plaid, but it's working out really nicely. Okay, so we're going to do the same on this side. And, you know, if your material is a little lopsided, we'll just cut a piece off. There we go. And then we're going to bring this up like that. And put some glue right there on that corner. And press. There we go. And then this side, see, that's a little bit stretched, so we're just going to take that corner off. And again, we're going to bring that up and do that corner. It's so nice to use a glue that grabs quickly and dries quickly. I mean, it's still tacky, but this right here already set. And again, excuse me, then we're going to bring this up. Make sure our corner is nice and flat. There we go. And we're going to bring glue here to the corner on this side. And then on your cardboard. And we'll go back and add more glue, but let's just get it set first. And we're going to fold. Bring your corners flat. This one, oh, really nice. And then we'll turn this back and we'll add some glue. It's alright if there's too much glue because we're going to put yet another layer. Oops, there we go. There. Oh my goodness, so nice. Now, and that's your beginning stage of your journal. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness, I love that look. So nice. Looks pretty straight on the spine. A little bit off, but we're still going to put things on there. You'll never see that. Oh, beautiful. So don't be afraid to pick a material that you may think, oh my goodness, a plaid. I don't think I'll do that. But look at that. That is just gorgeous. Now, the next thing I do is I put paper. I'll put a paper here or a material, depending of your choice. You can use material or paper. And I'm going to make that to fit over this, and we're going to cover the spine. So let me see what I have for paper. Let's see. I really like something that's going to go with our green. Let that green pop. Kind of like that. Let me see what else. Oh, I like this too. It's a little wild with the plaid and the flowers and the stripes, but kind of works. Let me see what else. That's the fun part. Oh, I like this. It goes this way. I really like that. Let me try one more. Let's see what else. I had something else in mind actually. Well, I have a couple. Then you can't decide which one. This one actually looks really nice with that beige. Kind of like that. And then we can dress it up. Alright, I think I'm going to go with that one. Okay then, because we're going to put more things on the inside. So, let's measure. So we need a piece that's going to go just on the inside of here to the just inside your cardboard, because we are going to use another piece that comes down the middle. So we just really want this to be 5 1/4 inches wide. So let's measure here. 5 1/4. And let me put the cover on my glue. And then we want to put a piece just like here, from top to bottom, 8 inches in length. So let me cut that paper right over here. Hold on 1 second. Alright, so we need 5 1/4. And 8 inches. And this paper is exactly 8 inches. So that was fortunate, right? It's a scrap piece of paper. And see, that's going to set just like that. And I'm going to cut the other one. 5 1/4 by 8 inches. And we're going to set that one. I'm going to turn this one around. No, I'm going to leave it this way because that pencil mark will be hidden with the spine. That is really pretty. I really like that. Alright then. Now, and again, we're going to glue. But, we're going to glue on the paper, not on the material. And make sure you get your little threads out of the way. And here we go. I get my glue down there. I need to refill my little bottle. And then we're going to go around the edges, not all the way to the edge, because this glue will spread some. So once you get it on, then you can, it'll spread out to the edge. And if there's any loose edges, just take your little glue thing here and add a little glue once it's down. And check all the edges. There we go. A little bit more. Okay, now let me turn this around. I start at the bottom usually, so I can get a straight line. And then I'll let go and push up in the middle and then out to the sides. And there it is. Oh, it's gorgeous. I love this. It's like I'm talking to myself here, but you get it. You'll understand, right? When you do it, you'll be so excited. And bring that glue down. Wait for that bubble to hit the top, and then I can move it. There we go. Alright, so it's like being a kid, you know, you love playing with paper and glue and scissors, and oh my goodness, so much fun. So yesterday my oldest granddaughter came over and I'm teaching her how to sew, and she's using an old denim skirt that she had and an old blouse, and we're making her a pocketbook. And I shouldn't say we, because I'm just helping. She's actually doing all the work. And she's, you know, she's 16, and she also made us dinner, which was so fantastic. It smelled like an Italian restaurant in here yesterday. That was nice. She comes once a week and hangs with me, and we do stuff. There we go. That is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I don't know about you, but I am loving that. Let me get the threads off of here and open it. Oh, beautiful. Okay, now it's going to push that one down just a little bit. When the glue is still wet, you can, you know, you can maneuver it some. There. Oh, so nice. So nice. Okay, now to secure the spine, I'm going to add another piece of material over this, so this will all be covered and you won't see that inner spine. And that'll be lesson 1. Okay, so let me see about a piece of material for the inside. I could use the same material. Let me see what that would look like. Could. Actually, you don't see much of it because the signatures will be on there, but you'll see a little bit out here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use the same material. A lot of time I don't, but I think I will today. I'm loving this material, so I don't want to stop. Okay, so you want to bring your material out a good half, 3/4 of an inch. I like to bring it out quite a bit, so at least a half an inch. So when you are moving this, it's really glued down and it won't come up. So I'm going to measure here. How about we get these lines, see if we can line this material up. We'll go like that. Well, that's a little too much. I think here. Yep. We're going to go here. It's not quite as big as I'd like it, but it's good enough. Okay, I'm going to cut here. If I can rip it right. And okay, now let's give it a tear. There we go. Alright, I'm going to take these strings off before I glue. Alright, now what we want to do, I'm trying to shoot for, is to line up the plaid. Most times I don't have to worry about that because I'm not using plaid, but this material, I'd like it to look uniform. You don't have to be fussy at all when you just use another piece. Okay, I'm going to cut right on that green line. right here. All right. Now we will get that over there a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I'd like to do is glue the middle, and then I'll go back and do the sides. All right. So lots of glue here, lots of glue in this little groove. Lots and lots of glue. You want lots of glue. I'm going to put a little line here and here because I don't want to over glue it on that paper. We can go back and doctor that up. So we're going to put lots and lots of glue. We're just going to run a bead down there and a bead here. And then lots and lots of glue here, right to this black line. I think is my goal right now. We can always put more glue. There we go. Now let's try it. I'm going to bring this around this way. Just bring it onto the glue and right there. And then down the middle and then out to the sides. Now the glue leaked through a little bit, but that'll dry. You won't see that. And the signatures will be on there. There we go. Now I'm going to turn this, and that one's already cut, and I'm going to put more glue on this paper. Bring it out ½ inch or so. Kind of eyeball it. You could measure, but you can eyeball it. There we go. And if there's too much glue, you take your baby wipe and just go over it, and it'll be damp, but it'll dry. And then this side, just like that. And there you have it. I'm just going to trim this piece because it was a teeny bit long. Be careful. Of course, I'm not really in the right place. Okay, there. Perfect. There we have it. One journal cover made. How beautiful is this? Oh my gosh, I love this. So there you go. You can keep your boxes, your cereal boxes, your whatever boxes, you know, you realize that you're throwing away every week. Keep all your stuff, because before you know it, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I could use that for a journal. And I like sharing lessons on how to do this. I only started doing this recently, and I love it. This is so much fun, and they're so beautiful when they're done. Really gorgeous. Now, I had the box from something I got in at the store. The material I had for years, and I keep my, excess material from quilting, so I have plenty of that. And, so glue, a pair of scissors. Really, you don't need a whole lot to do this. And if you don't have that, one of those utility knives, you can use scissors. You just have to draw lines and make sure that you cut accurately. And paper could be anything, or it could be more material. I use paper on the inside cover and more material in the middle, but you do and you work with what you have. And for beginners, just don't worry about fancy things or anything. You can do this from scraps around your house. That's what's great about junk journaling, is that you can use almost any materials. So here we have it, the cover of a journal. This is going to be step 1. Step 2, the next video will be putting papers together and making signatures. And then if that takes a little bit longer, then we'll install them in the journal in a third video, but we might be able to do it in a second video. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, if you could please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Share And you can check me out on Etsy. I have an Etsy shop. It's listed below with some journals on there waiting for the right home. And I hope you had a wonderful, fabulous day today. Enjoy tomorrow, the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.